here. We're going to get a little bit of a glimpse of what the gameplay is going to be like. We have our beautiful character over here, looking great. We are here ready to fight the horrors of this new world, trying to understand what may or may lie ahead. And you can see at the top here, we're going to have some basic commands. As you would suspect, WASD is going to be our movement keys. Now, the game will be said to have controller support at the time of release on August 31st. So if you are not a keyboard and mouse user, you want to use a controller. I don't blame you necessarily, of course. That will be available for you on release. Unfortunately, I don't have the opportunity to skip most of this, so you're going to have to see it for yourself. Draw your weapon is going to be X. Block is going to be that right mouse button. Attack, no surprise, the left mouse button. Dodge is going to be shift. And the heavy attack is, surprise, hold the left mouse button. Much wow, such bog. You get the idea. Now these keys are all rebindable. We're gonna go talk to Captain Skelebro over here, see how he's doing today. He looks like he's in the mood to talk.
You come closer. Your presence.
And just like every other player in the world, we're gonna be skipping right through that conversation. Because if we had time for conversations, well, you know, we wouldn't really be worried about min-maxing and watching YouTube videos about new player guides. We don't really care about any of that nonsense. So we're going to be putting on our shield. We can either double click or drag. Honestly, the inventory, not that bad. I don't mind the inventory system that they have going on here. It seemed like it was a little bit basic, but it kind of grew on me. Not too bad. Use your buttons here. You can see at the bottom right of the screen, you have consumable slots 3, 4, 5, and 6 that unlock as you progress through the game. You also have abilities for your weapon, Q, R, and F. You can also rebind these abilities if you'd like to. And number 1, of course, will display your current loadout for your weapon. Eating that slice of moldy bread, we are now recovering and well-fed. I would be well-fed after eating a piece of bread from the ground off the New World on a shipwreck by the skeleton as well. We're going to continue. Jumping, surprise, is space. Allows you to move. Look at that jump. Extremely spirited. Put your full body into it. This person is an Olympic medalist in terms of jumping. I can see that. Okay, so now we're going to be going into the combat again. Here's a pop-up in case you were, well, not very intelligent. They'll tell you what the controls are again, in case you forgot. Surprise, it's going to be attack, heavy attack, light attack, etc. Now, there is going to be no tab targeting, as I showcased here, unintentionally. You can miss your attacks by just not aiming correctly at the opponent. You have to put your crosshair on the opponent. I can't use tab like World of Warcraft or other games such as of that, where I can just automatically hit the enemy just by clicking or by using an ability. You need to actually aim your crosshair on the enemy, kind of similar to, what is that, Terra, I guess, is an MMO that has something like that. To get the idea. Honestly, the combat, pretty fun. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty fun. There are some elements that are kind of basic, but the general principle is pretty interesting when you get into that concept. So we're just going to go ahead and finish off these guys here. Try to speed through the beginning so you can see more of what this game is like. Now, you're going to be sprinting automatically. In my opinion, sprint a little bit slow, but this is as fast as your character can move. Vaulting over objects. You can see I'm very fit. Now I have to break this guard, I have to hold my heavy, and then he gets a stagger, and then I can finish him off. Now let's take a look at this mastery here. As you use a weapon, there are no classes in this game, which means you can use any weapon you'd like. You can be any class. You can be a magician or magic user, mage, whatever you want to call it. You can be a warrior, you can be a hunter, ranger, whatever you want to call it. So as you level up with using these specific weapons here, you're going to be able to access these modifiers. These are going to be your talent trees, which means that you can choose different trees to go down and pursue. You have a maximum of 20 points, for which you can put these or allocate these points. And that means you're going to be able to unlock an ultimate ability which is going to be, seems to be a passive, and then you have 3 active abilities you can choose at one time. Now you can see that there's going to be a total of 3 active abilities per tree, and 1 ultimate passive ability per tree, along with multiple additional passive abilities as you go down the tree. You can choose whichever one you'd like to. In this case, I'm going to go with the Shield Rush ability on the Defender tree, just so I can sprint faster to the next area. And by sprint faster to the next area, I mean whatever you saw there. Auto Run is the equal sign for whatever reason. You can hit equals and run and talk at the same time in case you're making YouTube content. And now let's take a look at the world of New World, in case we forgot the name of the game. Here it is once again. You are watching a video on behalf of the game New World. That's right, this is not Minecraft. It's New World. Alright. Look at that beautiful island out there. We unfortunately can't jump over these rocks, jump into the trees. Nope, we have kind of set pathing here to go down a certain way. Later on, you're going to have a little bit more freedom in terms of movement, but this is the tutorial, so they're kind of shoving you into a certain area. There's also, this is kind of an instance area, so later on you're going to teleport somewhere else. Captain Brobeard again. Seen better days.
No, you would have been better off dying at sea.
That's mean. Don't say that to you. So I can get staggered if I hold my block too long, or if he breaks my guard. So against a unit, person like this, you're gonna want to have to dodge more than block. Some of his attacks are kind of holding me. Okay, and then we do an anticlimactic load screen, which I think is it is what it is, but going to the load screen now, and then we're gonna arrive at a mysterious land once again. I still don't know the point of doing that, but I assume there's a point. I have no idea who that guy is, and 20 levels into the game, I still have no idea who that guy is. But hey, we arrived again at another a shipwreck. Sure, welcome. Say hello to everybody. Hello, friends. I have arrived. Alright, we've arrived. Little do they know what awaits them in the land of New World. So, fun fact. You can spawn in different areas. I've spawned in First Light. You can spawn in Monarch's Bluffs, I believe, or other assorted areas. So you can see that most of these areas here are white, or have this gray indicator here. Now, this game is kind of PvP oriented, where these lands are like Planetside 2, where these zones can be conquered. You can see there's 3 different factions here: the yellow faction, the purple faction, and the green faction. Nicely enough, they all have a land that I can kind of showcase that. The green are going to be the Marauders. That's the one that my main character is on right now. They are basically a mercenary group, all in it for themselves, fighting for honor and glory. They're basically the Horde of World of Warcraft. They just want to kill and get glory and honor and die by fighting. Then you have the smarter, more intelligent people, the other 2 factions. You have Yellow, which are kind of your cult of religious fanatics. They're going to be the Crusaders, cleansing the Holy Land in the name of the most religious zealots in the world or so, to cleanse the heretics, etc., etc. And then you have Purple here. They are going to be probably the smartest of the 3. They're going to basically be hiding in the shadows and stabbing whoever is going to be winning between Green and Yellow. They're going to be the Syndicate, and they're going to find the truth, or they're going to pursue the real truth behind the land and find out gather the knowledge and give you the opportunity to, from the shadows, extort and utilize your resources to achieve victory. All right, so I know who I am. I'm the no-brain warrior. It's too much brain power for me. All right, who are you? I'm Mark Fantasy TV. Thank you for my boots.
They'll be wondering the nature of the solar system.
Alright, so you can read things, get some experience as you level up. You can spend your skill points by increasing your attributes. You have your 5 modifier attributes here. Strength, Dexterity, Intelligence, Focus, and Constitution. Strength, as you can see, there's a nice highlight here to tell you which weapons that they affect. It says here, Sword and Shield scales with Strength and Dexterity. Great Axe scales with Strength. Warhammer scales with Strength. Get an idea. So if you want to be using these weapons, now you know which modifiers to choose. You can go for the strength modifier here in case you want to be using these as weapons. Up to level 20, your respec is free. You can respec as much as you want up to level 20. Don't want to strength? Go back to dexterity. Not sure? Do it again. Intelligence it is. Intelligence, we can have the fire staff, the ice gauntlet, the rapier, the musket. I don't understand why musket is in the intelligence section still. I think they just needed to put more things in the intelligence section. You get the idea. Okay. So, if you've ever played Elder Scrolls Online, I'd say the game is very similar, both in terms of the UI, as well as the world and the movement. The movement is a little bit basic and clunky. That being said, it's doable if you don't have the highest expectations of a 2021 MMO. It feels, honestly, not that bad, considering old school MMORPGs, if you ever played the old school MMORPGs. Even WoW Classic to an extent, for example. So the world itself, honestly, is gorgeous. The graphics are really beautiful, with the exception of the water, which is kind of basic in my opinion. And the swimming is non-existent. You can see that when I go into deep water, this is not necessarily deep water. But if you do go into deep water, you're basically just going to be running in the water. Your character does not know how to swim, which I don't really understand. Seems like a missed opportunity for me to not allow characters to swim. But yes, no swimming. You can basically do everything else though. The crafting and gathering in this game is pretty cool. As you can see, you can gather, which is interesting. For most of the things you can gather here, you're going to gain experience points. When you explore, you gain experience points as well. When you do things like killing, you can kill players as well. When you're PvP flagged, and gain experience. So there's a lot of fun for leveling up in the manner that you so choose, in the way that you would like to level up. Okay, so let's take a look at where we actually need to be going. Here's a boar. We're gonna go kill that boar. Looked at us funny. Okay, my dodge didn't work very well. I'm keeping myself there. So, it says no equipped knife. We need to go eventually make some tools ourselves. So to do that, we need to gather some flint and other assorted goods from the world environment. And they're going to teach us how to craft and such. This is still the beginning of the game. This is going to be your first look at some of the quests and area that you can be seeing here. A little bit of the world environment. Now, these graphics are on high, not very high. It can go a little bit higher in case you have a better system than I do. I'm currently running the GTX 1080. As well as an i7 7700, not the most up-to-date hardware. So I'm usually seeing about 40 to 70 FPS. Right now I have 100, just because this area is sparsely populated and nothing is really going on in this area. But you get an idea. So here we can zoom in, see exactly where we need to be. We're in the middle of nowhere. Pro gamer. We need to be going down here and killing some ground. Okay. Level 3. Once it's going to be leveled up to spend our attribute points. Let's get some dexterity. Now, here's the interesting part of the game. As you level up in a certain area, let's say I'm in First Light. Again, the name of this area is First Light. As you level up or do objectives or gather or kill anything, no matter what you do, you're going to be getting some territory standings for that sector. So you can see the different sectors here. First Light, Brightwood, Cutlass Keys, Ebonscale Reach, which sounds pretty cool, by the way. I want to take it just for the name. First light, we're gonna have some bonuses here. We can own a house once we hit level 10 in standing. We can gather, increase our gathering speed, increase our experience gained, or increase our territory standing once more. So let's go ahead for the XP gain. It's going to allow us to get more experience while we're in first light. Pretty self-explanatory, which is pretty cool though. It's a nice touch. It gives you a little bit more of an idea of having a reputation in a certain area. You can interact with certain things in the world by pressing E, and rebindable as you see fit. When you read these little blue texts, you gain experience, so you can just do that and instantly gain your experience. My full-on shield bash, wonderful. The UI is pretty clean. I like the UI. It feels pretty good. The game is pretty responsive for what it's worth as well. The mobs do have an aggro radius, which is pretty close.
Wasn't a pleasant
And
time.
in our quest, get our pants.
Playing tough now.
Now, when we go to campfires, you can construct these on your own in the future.
Flint and wood.
You can make some tools. Let's take a look at that. We're going to be able to make a skinning knife by gathering some flint and wood. Later on, we can upgrade by having even more improved survival tools. These are going to impact your crafting and gathering speeds and the efficiency at which you gather and craft. Set that as our active tool. We can just go ahead and make a bunch of these, to be honest. Since we don't have any tools. And we've gained a bunch of different gear here. So we can equip that gear that we have gathered. Of course, from doing the quests, you may suspect. And next we need to hunt the boar. Which we did before in this area. Around here. Give him the shield. There we go. Now we can, since we crafted that skinning knife as well, we can skin this boar. As you can see. Take a look at our experience at the conclusion of the skinning. You're going to see that not only do we gather the boar in terms of leather or rawhide, we're going to be gathering some experience points as well, which is going to help you during this slightly tedious, lengthy time as well. Boulder here, we can do some mining. Again, these are basic primitive tools. It's going to take a long time to get this done. But later on, as you go through the game, this is going to get a little bit faster. And we're still going to be getting some experience points. So feel free to grab a drink at this point in time while you watch yourself break that rock. Back to our campfire. Now that we have gotten some meat from that boar and some hide, you can also opt to cook some food. So we're going to go down here, cook a ration. We have some raw pork here. Increase our cooking. Wonderful. And in that quest, get a shirt.
Smell the fresh meat on an oak.
Excellent.
It's tradition in First Light to keep record of all
Now we need to search the shipwreck, which
the
is
memorials.
probably where I'm going to leave off for our first look here. You get the idea of what we're doing right now. That's going to be where we leave off. Again, we have leveled up, increase our attributes once again. Get some strength here. And we have an achievement, which are all uninitialized. Unfortunately. But hey, here's your first look at New World. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. This is only a small glimpse onto what the world holds, of course. There's a lot more going on here. There's apparently an upcoming war there as well. Okay. Bunch of things going on. People like Syndicate. People like Syndicate a lot, at least on this server. Wow. Looks like a war zone up there. Glad I'm not part of it. Anyways, if you've enjoyed, this guy is like, hold on a second. Let me check out that look. Wonderful. You had to do a double take there. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, a comment down below. I do have some additional beta keys I am giving away as per the comments down below as well. I'm working with the developer here as well, trying to get some more beta keys to give away. I've given away 3 of them so far. Do have more to give away, so definitely let me know if you enjoyed this. If you want to try it out. Honestly, the graphics are pretty good. The combat, if you can look past some of the movement, is okay. It doesn't need balance, of course, just like everything else in the game and other games as well. Always need some fine-tuning. But for the price point of $40 and a non-subscription model for an MMORPG, you're gonna be getting your money's worth if you enjoy, well, a game like Elder Scrolls Online, a game like World of Warcraft. This is pretty fun, especially if you like PvP. If you like PvE content only, maybe the game is not so much fun right now. I do not believe any raids are announced for the in-game content. I'm not sure what that's going to look like. There are instances and dungeons at level 20 that you can do, for example, that will help you out, but I don't know how much more of the PvE content there is other than the grind itself. And I don't think you're going to be playing much for the story. And I think the story itself is slightly weak. The quests are rather boring and obnoxious and slightly tedious. I will say that the PvE aspect of the game is weak compared to other MMORPG titles I've played. But the PvP, it's pretty fun. It's pretty enjoyable. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out and watching. I'll see you in the next one.